guys. Okay. Just don't say hi back. It's just be friendly, bro. Hi, guys. Okay. I see it now. Right. So one of the valuable discoveries that I've had. Am I just gonna stand here? Can I just stand here? Right. One of the valuable experience or discoveries that I had during the time that I was doing extracurriculars for the past few years is that I figured out how talented the youth are these days, including you guys, right? And because of these kind of talented, because we are such a talented generation, there are the goods and the bad sides of it. For me, I got a chance to talk to several of my peers, several of my global classmen, who are doing a lot of projects and taking up a lot of responsibilities that are physically overwhelming for a single person to take on. And when I look at that, my mind just went, how do they even manage their time? I mean, it's kind of strange for me to stand here and say that, because at one point in time, I was doing 6 MUS at the same time. But there are the bad sides too of taking more responsibilities and a lot of responsibilities, is that they are taking up all of these things that later on they will figure out that, oh, we don't really have time, and oh, I feel overwhelmed doing all these things, and that I see all these things not as a learning experience, but as my to-do list. Right? So I've been thinking about the idea of quantity versus quality lately, not only because I myself am going to be a US applicant next year, but also because culturally, right? I was born and raised as in an Asian household, where I was expected to do piano since I was 4, contemporary dancing at the age of 5, and extra classes every day to the rest of the week until I reached middle school. Anyone experienced that? Great, y'all are Asians, typical Asians, right? So, and I also see my peers, right? My peers, ever since they were a child, they were doing double diploma for their whole life, right? Academically and for music school. I mean, triple diplomas at this point, right? Because in my school, we're doing double diplomas, everyone, and they're doing music school too. And I can't help but think how society expectations are putting kind of this invisible pressure on us we have to do more, we have to be more ambitious, we have to take on more responsibilities, especially the ambitious US college applicants out there, or the future applicants. And they taught us to be mindful that every little helps, right? The more you take, it's gonna help you in the future, right? But I start to question if that is really true, right? In my school, we are still doing the advanced placement. Anyone know what it is for US applicants? Yeah, basically we're gonna call it the AP, right? I was doing AP macroeconomics for this year, and there is this one term which is not officially in the course itself, but my teacher or my professor is I'm really grateful for my teacher or my professor who taught me about this term of marginal, law of diminishing marginal utility, where in dictionary it's all else equal, as consumption increases, the marginal utility derived from each additional unit that binds. Let's just put that aside for once, right? We're just gonna understand this in really simple terms. I don't want to mention anything about what the economists are going to say. I'm just gonna understand it as the more you consume something, the more you consume a specific product, the less, basically the less happiness or satisfaction you are going to get from the consumption of more of that product. Right, so just basically imagine this as, okay, you guys are craving for a bar of chocolate, right? Let's get Kit Kat, for example. If you are craving for a bar of Kit Kat, then eating one bar of that Kit Kat is going to make you really happy, really grateful that, oh, you are existing in this whole life. And you have that one Kit Kat, right? But the more you try to consume chocolate, for a second bar, you are probably gonna feel less happy. I mean, like still happy because you guys are human, but less happy and less basically thinking that that chocolate is really giving you mindful or something, right? And when you guys reach the 20th bar, you guys are probably going to feel sick in the stomach and probably wouldn't touch a bar of chocolate, like any bar of chocolate, for the rest of 6 months, right? And okay, let's not talk about this in terms of chocolate, right? Let's talk about this in a more economics way, right? Let's talk about, okay, household income, right? Do you guys, okay, can I ask you guys a question? Most of you guys are gonna go into college. So what is going to be the specific aim of you guys, going to college? Maybe like what, for more job opportunities or anything? More knowledge. More knowledge? Okay. I see that. All right. Are there any other aims going to college? All right, we're gonna talk about the knowledge part later. All right, let's talk about how going to college can increase job opportunities, which we're gonna talk about the income first, and then the knowledge part. All right. Okay, so there was once a research paper by, I think, a UN professor. Okay. I got his name here actually, Killingsworth, right? He concludes that two households earning $20,000 and $16,000 would be expected to exhibit the same difference in well-being as two households earning $60,000 and $180,000 respectively. So basically this just shows that, having more money doesn't make you feel worse, and it doesn't basically decrease your happiness, but having more money can decrease in the feeling of satisfaction and decrease the feeling of happiness for each additional unit of money, right? So this applies to knowledge, right? Think about what is the main value you're trying to embrace when you are waking up every day, right? When you study at school, at RGSD, right? What is the main value you are trying to achieve or embrace going here, study every day, or doing extracurriculars, doing whatever that you are doing, right? Okay, I'm gonna just let you guys think for a moment. Now think about, that values, right, that you are trying to embrace. What if the workload, in order to achieve that value, increases? Right? How is it going to affect the feeling you have towards that much workload and towards that value that you're aiming for? Applying law of diminishing marginal utility here, the more you are trying to do something, whether it's for emotional fulfillment, whether it's for knowledge, whether it is for the learning experience that you are going to have. However, taking more responsibilities means that you are going to spend less time for each of the tasks that you are doing, right? What does it mean to have less time for each of the tasks? It means that you are going to find that task more or less enjoyable and appreciate that task less and appreciate and learn less from that task, right? And also, that means that to a specific point, to a specific extent, that feeling of enjoying that learning experience is going to turn into something negative, right? Maybe that you guys feel overwhelmed, maybe that you guys feel drained. However, I also understand that it is hard to unlearn the fact that society expectations are teaching us on how to, do more, how to have more of these responsibilities, because in social media, you guys are seeing all these startups at 14 or startup at 16, writing books at 17, or doing like 10 other projects or researches for prestigious research institutions. But trying to think about this for a moment, right? Trying to reflect on what you guys are doing. What is your main value that you guys are trying to embrace on what you are doing every day that you're waking up, right? Trying to think about it for a moment. Try to think about what you value. The main idea here is that for my part, I'm gonna not tell you to unlearn what the society is teaching you on your aims, your values, and whatever responsibilities you're taking upon. I'm here to tell you that whatever you do, there is going to be a certain point that you guys feel drained, that you guys doing too much can make the benefits, marginal benefits that you guys get from it decreases. And that is where we should maximize our basically marginal utilities, maximize the learning experience, maximize the benefits we get from that one learning experience without coming with the risk of, oh, we're investing too much into this, without feeling that, oh, we're so overwhelmed by it, right? That's my TEDx for today. Thank you.